Hello, this is Jedka for another battle report. This time is with my fallen Brettonians versus Lizardmen. We are playing standard battle line, and you will see there's not much terrain. Hope you enjoy. This is really a testing of the list. In this one, as you saw at the presentation of the list for the Brettonians, I swapped the Grail Knights for 9 paladins. Turns out that for a few more points, I think it's about 100 if I'm not mistaken, it was a while back, apologize, you get a full length of paladins with 1 more wound than the paladins, than the Grail Knights, better weapon skill, better strength, better everything really. So I kept them box standard, so lances, hand weapon, shield, and a horse. No special shenanigans. There is a BSB which has special gear, but apart from that, I'm trying to consider this as a elite lance, and so we'll see how it works. And so for deployment, my opponent has from the top right 3 Terran Riders, 10 skirmisher kings with shield and javelins, a ancient Stegadon with engine of gods. He's got his Carvet on a Cold Rider. He has a unit of 20 temple guards with a slan in the middle, and a big block of 35 Sorai. On my side of the table, I have from the right a trebuchet. I have 10 archers with braziers and fence. I then have a unit of 10 knight errants with damsel level 2 of life. I have my unit of 9 paladins with the Lord and the prophetess level 4 of beast, and that unit includes the paladin, the BSB paladin, sorry. Then on my left side I have a unit of 5 knight errants with a paladin and a level 2 of beast with a ruby ring. My opponent has the slan with the law attributes for all the laws, special rule which I forgot the name of, it just slipped my mind, I apologize. My level 2 of beast has fireball with the ring, the ember spear and curse of Unrai. My level 4 prophetess has Pan Emperor Pelt, Wisdom Wild Form, Flock of Doom, Savage Beast of Horus, which with 9 paladins in a lance could be quite devastating. And then my level 2 of life has rolled Regrowth and Shield of Form. My opponent's top left corner includes a Stegadon. He's got also 11, oh no, I apologize, that's Teto Echo with a 10 skin cohort, and then another unit of 10 skin skirmishers with javelin and shields. Benefiting from Teto Echo, my opponent rolls 2 vanguards and gets his ancient stag forward, as well as his rightmost unit of skin skirmishers. And in fact he got 3 because he's got his other unit of skin skirmisher forward, and the Terran Riders have vanguard by default. My opponent wins the roll to go first and moves his skink unit as close as possible to my second trebuchet, which I forgot to mention, which is on my left corner of the table, or bottom right from his side, and then proceeds to move all his unit forwards. He does not charge with his Stegadon, as the terrain there in the middle was declared impassable before we deployed. On the other side of the table, the Terran Riders get closer and will try to shoot a few times at the trebuchet, and the skin skirmishers get forward towards the my archers. Here's a closer look at my leftmost trebuchet, who is going to be a big target for the kings. If they roll a lot of 6s, my trebuchet is going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't recall what happened in the magic phase very much, but he for sure got Wisdom Wild Form on his temple guards, and then I believe combined effort with his remaining magic dice, with then Very, very good shooting from this king skirmishers. He successfully destroys my leftmost trebuchet before he can do anything. On my right hand side, the Pterodon riders, goddamn, 3 shots, get 2 wounds through on the trebuchet, which is nasty. And he also kills 2 of my archers. On my turn 1, I move one of my paladins off of the lance to block the Stegadon, or give it an option to charge and protect the flank of my lance. I move the other lance behind the impassable terrain, away from that Stegadon, and facing the block of Sorai. Then I move my 2 lances forward, just to tease his temple guards on the top of the hill over there. And then nothing else moves. In the magic phase, I try to cast Fireball with the Ruby Ring on Tetoeko's unit, but get it dispelled. I then try to cast Amplus Spear on the Stegadon, but fails to cast it or get it dispelled. I do not recall, but the spell doesn't go off. Straight shooting phase, the trebuchet forgot what it was aiming at, probably the temple guards, misfires, and cannot shoot this turn and the next. The archers aim at the Pterodon riders, who are the immediate threat to the trebuchet, but only cause a wound. And then to turn 2, the Lizardmen close the embrace or the circling around my units. Tetoeko's unit is behind the impassable terrain there. His king skirmishers, having done a good job against the trebuchet on the bottom right, move to the flank of that lance of knight errant. And the Stegadon gets closer as well, I guess, to get a counter-charge in case I get greedy and charge his Saurus Warrior. The remaining trebuchet, who hasn't done anything and cannot do anything for the next turn, is being focused on by the Pterodon riders and the unit of king skirmishers. His unit of temple guards moves backwards, trying to make me fail my charges, I guess. And his unit of Saurus Warriors move closer to that channel there between the 2 hills. I'm not sure if this was magic or shooting, but one of the knight errants on the left lance perishes from attack from the left, so Tetoeko's unit or the king skirmishers. Big surprise, the trebuchet and its crew get poisoned to death by little tiny darts. They really hurt. I believe he tried to cast Fireball through Tetoeko with his slan and failed to cast, or I dispelled it. My turn 2, I'm very successful and declare 2 charges against Temple Guards and get both lances in. To be fair, one of my lance has the virtue of the Impetuous Knight, so additional d6 to the charge. I move my Lone Paladin on the left to block his unit of Saurus Warriors. And this is shooting, which means I forgot to take a picture of the magic phase. Magic phase, I get Savage Beast of Horus bubble on, yes, the 9 paladins, the Lord, the Prophetess, and the Damsel. That's gonna hurt. +3 strength, +3 attacks on all these characters. Resuming to shooting, so my 8 archers shoot at the Pterodon riders and took 1 off. But yeah, the unit is there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get the points for that with the archers alone. And so we get into combat, and oh dear, so he's got an All Blood in there, who's really kitted to the teeth with a war save. Unfortunately, I challenge with my Lord. Well, no, my Lord is in contact with it, so I do my all my attacks. I place a Hurricane Blow. He passes his save, and I have a paladin with the Trickster Shard next, and he rerolls and fails. So that's the All Blood done, and then just the rest of my attacks, the sheer amount of it, I just pulverize the Temple Guards before they can do anything. The slan as well get down to the last wound, and yeah, who knew, huh? 10 characters plus Savage Beast of Horus is very good. After all that, one of my unit overruns to not block the other, and the other just reforms to face the side of the Saurus Warriors. Turn 3, his Ancient Stegadon charges the paladin that was blocking his source wires. I decide to flee. He ends up in between my two lances on top of the screen there, and the Ancient Stegadon cannot redirect into anything and ends up over there. His source wires do not have any line of sight to charge anything else and stay where they are. On my right side of the table, his King Skirmishers shift behind my archer line, and that's gonna hurt. And his Pterodon Riders come closer to provide some support to his remaining units. On my left side of the table, his other unit of King Skirmishers get behind my lance and outside of their arc of charge, I believe. Teto Echo's unit is shifting over next to the Stegadon on the top of the screen there, facing my big lance. And here's a closer picture of that positioning. The rock in front of the unit is just for purpose. It is not impassable, so potentially this unit can be charged if I desire to do so and able to do so. In the magic phase, the Teto Echo gets Curse of the Midnight Wind on my Lord unit with all the paladins. In shooting, the King Skirmishers get 5 of the archers, but they do pass their leadership and stick around. His Pterodon Riders try to shoot at the back of my paladins over there, but do not succeed into wounding. The other unit of skirmishers succeed in killing a couple of knights from knight errant lands. However, and that's why I wasn't remembering before, but yes, no, he was in the arc of charge of that lance. There were 4 knights at the start of the charge due to quick to fire and stand and shooting. Very well done by the skinks. 1 dies, and that leaves the paladin, the champion of the unit, and the damsel in contact after the charge. I declare a charge on Teto Echo's unit with my Lord's lance. Unfortunately, he flees and I don't catch him. I cannot redirect into anything else. I think I do fail my my redirect roll. Anyway, I end up taking wound on one of the characters due to dangerous terrain. My lone paladin rallies. He lost his blessing on the lady, but he rallies. And I think I played that wrong, but he did his move, not marching, and came to block the Sorais unit to protect the flank of my lord's lance. I may have done that wrong. I apologize if I did. In the magic phase, I cast Savage Beast of Horus and Pan's Impenetrable Pelt on that lone paladin, so he can soak up a charge from the Soros wires. And in combat there with the skirmishers, I killed 2 skinks, only 2. He doesn't do anything back. However, with all that combat res, and saying that, both my damsel character and my paladin took a wound. So well done, the skinks. But yeah, the King Skirmishers failed a morale check, flee off the table, and I decided to reform towards the battle with the remaining unit of knights, paladins, and damsel. Turn 4, my opponent charges the Stegadon into my lance of paladins and lord. He charges his Soros wires into my lone paladin. Although far away from the BSB, no, BSB is gone. Teto Echo's unit passes his leadership test of 6 of 5 and reforms towards the battle. The Pterodon Riders, not sure what to do, definitely not wanting to give me any combat rest by charging into anything, just move facing my remaining 3 model unit of knights at the bottom of the screen there. Magic phase, Teto Echo casts Harmonic Convergence on the Source Wire, and that's very good. In shooting, at last, his King Skirmisher gets its second unit under its belt after the Trebuchet. It is the unit of archers that is defeated by the poisoning darts. In combat, impact hits, I don't remember. He probably killed 3 knights because they're not paladins. So yeah, 3 of the 5 knights in the unit. I believe that all the knights of the unit, so only paladins and characters remain in that unit now. In return, because of a higher initiative, but I do not have the Savage Beast of Horus or any buffs on that unit, I only cause 4 wounds to the Stegadon. And I believe we stick in the end. He charge, yeah, 4 versus 4. I win by a couple, but he passes leadership test. More logic test as well. The top combat there with my lone paladin, he accepts a challenge. I declare one. He accepts a challenge with his unit champion, which I dispatch. With the overkill Savage Beast of Horus, he win the combat with that static res, combat res, and however, because of the BSB and my general, I do pass my leadership and stick around. So that's definitely not what he wanted. Here's a better picture with 1 less model from his unit of Source Warriors. In my turn, I then decide to charge the Source Warriors with the lance that overran after the combat with the Templar Guards from the top there. I cast another time Curse on Anrair on this Source Warrior block. Get Savage Beasts of Horus on the Lone Paladin. And we go straight into combat. He's Scarvet on the Cold Max Way and engages with the Lance unit. He gets 2 hits but rolls 2 1s. Unfortunately, he's got a Grail weapon, so wounds me on 2s. That's very unfortunate. I think that's what we try to depict there. He takes a wound for his trouble. I do not believe he was in a challenge, so he does take a wound for his trouble. And yeah, he started that turn of combat with 34 Source Warriors, ended up with 16 left. I do not believe he caused any wound on my part. That was pretty devastating. At the bottom of the screen there, you can see I lost a few more knights from my lance, but my lord and the paladins in the lance took good care of his Stegan. And that's when we stopped the game. So yeah, quite devastating. That replacing that lance of Grail Knights with 9 paladins in a unit, or not, of 5 Knight Errants. And you don't have to put the 5 Knight Errants or the paladins in a unit of 5 Knight Errants, but that could be extra wounds. It's extremely devastating, especially with the spell like the Savage Beast of Horus. Yeah, I mean, what I like really is that you get 1 extra wound for 10% of the cost over the Grail Knights, and you can, you get characters that you can chop up. You can put 9 guys, single model, their own unit on the table. That would be a lot of target saturation for your enemy. The one thing I would say is that compared to last time when I had each and every paladins kitted with different stuff and magic items, this time I put them, every single model was the same, which makes it much easier and much more enjoyable to play, especially for my opponent. Because yeah, I mean, if you start to kit them differently, it's a nightmare just for bookkeeping. So there you go. This is a little picture of how the lens, I changed the trays. I did a bit more color, so I'm progressing on that front. Hopefully, it's going to be done soonish. I'm watching as well what's happening with the end times with the Chaos book. It would be nice if they release Slanesh, because there's a lot of pink in that unit, and yeah, they would suit them to be Slaneshi knights. But nonetheless, that's the victory for the Brettonians. Crushing defeat. I mean, the single charge, double charge, which just obliterated that unit of Templar Guards, was decisive in the game. We played one like this. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. If this type of list is allowed for Brettonians in the future, I would definitely recommend it. But please make sure you use the same kind of characters. So for bookkeeping and for the sake of running the dice rolls and so on, it will be easier for everybody if you keep them box standard or of a similar build. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. See you next.